Welcome everybody, this is Nightsaber Z42 and we're back with some Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. In the last episode we had some problems figuring out just how this map puzzle was supposed to work, and I actually had to check the Steam forums for this one because what appears like you would think that when you draw the ellipse it would just encompass these two, but apparently if you go further, I think right here,
there we are, Watson. Our killer lives in this area.
It works.
It's still rather a vast area, Holmes.
Yes, indeed. And our goal is to reduce this area as much as we can. We must consider the fact that the murder at Mitre Square was committed under a certain amount of pressure, given that the killer knew he was wanted for the acts he committed not long before. We can assume that he had to do it in a safe zone, that is, an area not far from where he lives. This is especially true of an act such as the graffiti he carried out after 2 murders. Let's trace a circle around this point, with the distance separating it from Mitre Square as the radius. This will enable us to determine our killer's safe zone.
Yeah, so basically just put the ellipse at least a couple streets over. Let's see, about 1, 2, 3 streets over on the from dust fields, and then you'll be good. Holmes will stop being a douche and tell you did a good job. Anyways, I think we have to do the next one so it encompasses the Mitre Square, and this is the area that is both the ellipse and the red circle. That's where our killer is going to live.
Our killer must surely live inside this circle. Now, let's intersect it with ellipses that we previously determined.
Okay, so this. Yes, totally right.
There we are, Watson, the Aldgate district.
Shouldn't we inform the police so that they can concentrate their efforts on this area of Whitechapel?
Heck
It
no.
is probably already crawling with inspectors, Watson, and I doubt that they would take us seriously, even if they were willing to listen to what we had to say. Let's focus instead on understanding the killer's modus operandi. We know our murderer preys on prostitutes who are penniless, weak, sick, or alcoholic, that he distracts them the moment before killing them, and that he left an anonymous message inciting anti-Semitic hatred at the entrance of a building occupied by Jews. How would you describe this man?
What a coward.
Indeed, he is a person of great cowardice. Let's look at his murders, and in particular, the depredations on the corpses, putting aside that of Liz Stride, because on that occasion, his work was left unfinished. If we recall the observations made on the victims and the parts that were mutilated or damaged on each of the bodies, without forgetting the fact that he also removed 1 or more organs, we can ascertain that our killer evolves during the course of the murders, cowardly and still evolving. And yet, look at the location of our first murder, that of Polly Nichols in Bucks Row. It is the most distant from the area our killer would appear to live. Perhaps this murder was preceded by another within the killer's area. I believe a cowardly killer would commit his first murder in an area close to his home, in order to find refuge as quickly as possible on carrying out the act.
Holmes, an idea just occurred to me that fills me with dread. This evolution of which you speak.
He will pursue his next victim as long as the conditions permit him to continue killing, Watson.
But how could one go even further in this horror? Look at what he did to that woman.
By specific pathology, perhaps the killer wanted to give an eye for an affliction he felt the prostitutes he knew were responsible for.
And this trail leading to Dr. Tumblety, Holmes?
I also have a few things to look into in the meantime. I still have a primary witness to track down, not to mention old trails I've yet to pursue. See you soon, Watson. When we first spoke about the Bucks Row murder with Watson, he was reading a newspaper, The Star, dated September 1st, 1888, I believe, which mentioned similar murders in the preceding months. If that's the case, I must find this witness so I can question him.
Like how, as the camera was panning over to Watson and Sherlock, this little mannequin was still within the room. At first I was like, what's that lady doing there? And then I thought, what's that little boy doing there? And then I was like, oh wait, that's the mannequin. Yeah. So, that a little infuriating part, but we got through it. And that's just a little part that was infuriating all day. Oh man. Tried to apply for a passport today.
Bulling is there. It won't hurt just this once.
Yep, tried to apply for a passport today, and of course... Ooh, I can actually scroll through my stuff. But all federal agencies are closed today, and of course it's MLK Day, so... Let's talk to Bulling and bully him.
Hello, Mr. Bulling. So, did your colleague tell you about the tip?
What tip?
Ah, I see. I gave him an explosive tip and he went without you? Oh, that's not very sporting on his part. No doubt he took all of the credit for his discovery.
You're winding me up, eh?
I must show Bulling something to make him believe me.
The note.
What do you want?
The debt.
I'm not winding you up. The proof is that he gave me this advance on the debt.
The traitor! He owes me if I find him.
Before I leave, can you do me a favor?
Heck, tell me.
I'm looking for some reliable info on the murders committed in Whitechapel in the months before Polly Nichols' attack.
Reliable? Ha! You really think you'll find that here? Fine. I'll be honest with you. We have folders that group the dispatches from the current year into categories. In the police law category, you'll find the transcripts of the trials and investigations that we sell to the newspapers that ask us.
Perfect.
Sadly, I am out of time. I'll leave you to solve it, eh? You're the detective, aren't you?
Yes. Why do you laugh? Oh, look at all this free stuff I get to take. To improve the dispatch filing, propose major info up below. Oh my gosh, these cursive. Oh, okay, I'm gonna stop reading. Yay, another George message. Okay, which way did you go, George? Okay, weird letter, and that must be the filing that we need to look at. Repair the wood of the news in brief compartment, £1. Man, we just found so many clues. The blue envelopes from the dispatch compartment contains confidential facts that must not be discussed in the news. As a reminder, they contain the political personalities, essentially the royal family, and economic issues. These dispatches will be retained only to be diffused when Buckingham Palace or the ministers give us the authority.
Closed.
Yeah, closed. Long live the Queen.
The dossiers are full of papers in dated envelopes. I can't open them. That would be too obvious. How can I tell which compartment to look in? No categories are indicated.
The blue. They're the blue ones.
An envelope is torn. I can tell that this dispatch contains economic information.
Okay.
This compartment was repaired recently.
Ah, oh, damn it. Why? Okay. Blue envelopes from a dispatch compartment contains confidential facts that must not be discussed with the news. So blue equals royal political. Are you talking about those blue envelopes?
This compartment was repaired recently.
Okay, so we gotta find the one that talks about... So, whichever one... Ah, okay. This one is... News and brief oddities, and this is police and law. Because this is too full, it flows into that one down below. Okay, so... Bill of repairs. Repair the wood of the news in brief compartment. Okay. I guess that is that then. So then what was this one up here? You made appears to be too small. Oh, world and society. For the world and society which cover too much area and overflows into the boxes below, police, law, and culture, respectively. No. I was right. Police, law, and culture. Do I dare pick up the phone? No, I do not dare. The phone shall ring. The blue one could be politics, because this one also has blue envelopes, and so this would be the society. Or should I do that? Okay. Because I must get things to a black. Yesterday, I randomly placed a few inventions in science with politics dispatches. After all, they are always harebrained items, given that the compartments are on top of one another. So, politics and inventions in science. So, this is inventions in science. I will show him. Okay, so look at all this small cursive. The most tedious and boring work imaginable. Once the work is done, I must take each envelope to the journalist in question, who won't even deign. Only hopeful note comes from my colleague, Miss Fitham, a charming young woman who is the only one to give me a smile. I should put my dispatches, because everyone here knows the order of the sections, but no one has bothered to tell me. And slides me. Oh, the lady has so much compassion and slides me notes, such as politics and society are on the side. Underneath economy. Oh no, what happened? Oh my. Are you kidding me? Okay. Where's world? This is economy. So world and society right here with police and law and culture. This was politics. This was news and brief. Inventions in science, I think, was up here. Okay, so let's go back. Politics and society are on the side. Okay. Inventions in sciences, then what would that be? Sports is underneath economy. Sports is underneath economy. Personalities is at the end of the row. It could be either here or... But I think this is politics. Front page news is the first compartment. And this has to be economy because we are... I do think that this has to be the politics because of the blue envelopes. Even though there are blue envelopes there, I don't know. So society... Wait, which ones had to be on the end? Is at the end of the row. Personalities is at the end of the row. Front page, the first compartment. Politics and society are on the side. Is that saying that they're side by side? Or is that saying that politics is down here? Politics... I don't know. I still think that that has to be politics. So let's assume that they are side by side. And then if we go back up... with politics. So inventions... So inventions and science has to be underneath politics. So that means they cannot be... This cannot be politics because there can't be nothing underneath. So inventions and science has to be right here, underneath politics. Okay, so we got that out of the way. And I think that's all that he said. Bill of repairs, we got... the world and society sections. Particularly too small, particularly for the world and society, which never cover too much area and overflow into the boxes below. Police, law, and culture, respectively. So police law has to be underneath the world, and culture has to be underneath society. But they're not. Okay, let us assume that politics is beside society. Which one? World. It doesn't say that world has to be side by side, and they are full. So law and culture, or sorry, police and law, and then society and culture overflow down below, which means nobody likes the weather. Oh my gosh, I am like the greatest detective alive. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I actually did that. And that last part was a guess too, the weather and personalities.
These envelopes contain dispatches of police and judicial cases. Now, I need to open them discreetly. I must try to unglue the openings.
Unglue it. Or we could just steal it. Okay, who's gonna help me out with this one? We'll take the watering can.
I need something.
Oh, no, I want...
These envelopes contain dispatches of police and judicial cases. Now, I need to open them discreetly. I must try to unglue the openings.
Water certainly gets rid of glue. Nope. Sure about that? Okay, so how about we take the matches, light that up, heat the water.
I need something.
How about the envelope?
I need something.
Really? We need something else? What else do we need? Oh, plant?
These envelopes contain...
There we go.
Open, and it looks like I'm in luck. This envelope contains precious information.
Yeah, we did it! Mr. Wine E. Baxter, the East Middlesex coroner, held an inquiry on Saturday, the 7th of April, at the London hospital respecting the death of Emma Elizabeth Smith, aged 45, a widow lately living at 18 George Street, Spitalfields, who it was alleged had been murdered. Okay, you guys can read that on your own. Whoops, I missed one. Huh. Okay. Oh, another one. Testimony in the Tabram case.
The information excludes the murder of the first woman, Miss Smith. Jack the Ripper can't be the author of that crime. On the other hand, there are enough similarities to suggest he may be the killer of Martha Tabram. I must go to the pet shop.
Wait, what? Oh, we have to talk to Abram.
I must go to the pet shop.
Yes, you just said that. Let's go talk with Abraham.
I must go to the pet shop.
Yeah, go to the pet shop. Oh.
Closed until further notice. Abraham isn't there. No luck.
Uh-oh.
why Mr. Solomonovich's shop is closed?
No, I don't. Perhaps his cousin, the cobbler, knows. But I believe the police came to take his animals. I think that might have something to do with it.
When was this?
During the day. The kids you were with the other day were there, they told me. They just came by to ask for some cat's meat. They didn't have any money, but I gave them some anyway.
Okay, what's wrong, bro?
Is something wrong?
It's just that there was a little girl with them, the same age as mine. My little girl who went away with her mother, with the angels into the sky.
Dr. Watson told me about your loss. Please accept my condolences. Would you like to talk about it? How did it happen?
The illness, sir. My poor little girl was in agony, and her face and body were ravaged by the disease.
Her face?
Yes, she looked like a ghost.
What illness is that?
What illness was it?
Dr. Gibbons tried to explain when I took my little girl to see him, but I didn't understand. I'm sure that he was trying to insinuate it was my fault. I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I understand. Farewell. Let's go and see Dr. Gibbons.
Another case to solve. Okay.
Let's go and see Dr. Gibbons.
Somebody is obviously trying to message me or something. Yo, Dr. Bro, we gotta talk, man.
Hello, Doctor. Do you remember me? I'm Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson's friend.
Oh, yes. Excuse the mess, but I am doing a bit of tidying.
Let's talk about Hardyman.
I have come to see you about a Mr. Hardyman, a cat food seller by trade who recently lost his daughter and wife.
Yes, I know him. A tragic story.
Yeah, what happened?
Actually, I was hoping you could tell me about the disease that took his daughter, a disease that would have attacked her face.
Well, to keep it short, we are speaking of syphilis, Mr. Holmes. You must certainly know that it is transmitted through intimate connections, and the vast prostitute population here contributes to its inevitable progression. It destroys individuals by spreading through the body slowly. The most obvious symptoms can be found in the genitalia and on the face in the form of pustules or lesions. Sometimes this illness can destroy whole families. The father catches it from a prostitute, he transmits it to his wife, who in her turn passes it to the kids which she bears or nurses. These cases are numerous in the vicinity. Certain children, and this we sometimes call the pox, but if it can remind you that one must sometimes think twice before giving in to physical attraction.
I always seem to find myself alone in such cases. Thank you, Doctor.
So, it seems that somebody is trying to recreate people with syphilis.
Let's go to the cobbler's.
Which is kind of interesting. Let's talk about Abraham.
I heard your cousin Abraham had a problem with his shop. What happened?
If I didn't know you well, I would tell you that it's Jewish business that doesn't concern anyone but the Jews. But as you have a little bit to do with it, you have the right to know what is going on.
Ah, would I have something to do with it?
Someone had seen Abraham telling you something and making big gestures near the Imperial Club. A vicious rumor quickly spread, and it has caused him great injustice. A slight dislike to someone, for right or wrong, we can be without pity and quite cruel.
What about the Aldgate butcher?
This is all very worrying. Your cousin knows one, or rather two, of the men who were at the Imperial Club on the night of the Mitre Square murder. One of the two, a butcher in Aldgate named Joseph, is probably withholding information of the utmost importance. I must find this man. Perhaps you can help me.
But there are dozens of Jewish butchers around Aldgate, half of which must be called Joseph. And you know, Mr. Holmes, we Jews prefer to remain in the background of this murderer business, this Jack the Ripper thing. All of London is pointing their fingers at us saying,
Alright, goodbye.
Very well. We may meet again, Mr. Solomonovich.
You are most welcome, Mr. Holmes.
I've paced up and down Whitechapel enough. I should return to Baker Street in order to reflect on the new facts that I have discovered.
Okay. That's what you want, bro. Let's go ahead and do it. But before we get to that, I'm actually gonna go ahead and call this an episode. Oh, for a second I thought he was running towards me. Hey, why are you running so funny, little boy? Anyways, feel free to leave a comment down below. Go on ahead and give this video a big thumbs up. Check the description down below for my Facebook and Twitter information. I'm always looking for a few more friends. And check the annotations at the end to subscribe to my channel and to find the series playlist and other series that I have done. I will see you in the next video.